live tonight. That is right. Live from New York City. It is Saturday night. uh, just chilling, chilling in my air-conditioned room tonight. Thought I'd do a little live stream. Waiting for some people to stream in. Let's see what happens, guys. What's going on, Transient? Good to see you. Good to see you, Chew. Thank you guys for stopping by. Much appreciated. What's going on tonight, Transient? You still in Arizona? What is that? Ooh, we got some ice melting here. Everyone, hey, what's going on, Blue Collar? So you know what happened, Blue Collar? I got your package about a week ago in the mail. I went to my mailbox at around 9:30 in the morning, and they put it in my mailbox not more than 2 hours later. So I was kind of ticked off. But I did pick it up a few days ago, and I'm going to be doing a mail call for your package. So thank you so much again for that auction that night. That was really cool. Had a lot of fun. You're in Florida. You just missed the fun show, Transient. Oh man, too bad you weren't there in Orlando. You could have went to the fun show if you were there a week earlier. Hey, what's going on, JK? Good to see you. You know, JK, I see you on Whatnot. I see you. It shows when my friends are online, and I see which auctions you're in. So maybe I come into some auctions. You might be there, and I see you, JK. You can't hide from me. Yeah, so tonight, just a chill night, you know. Got my Goldschlager, guys. My pieces of gold inside. What else would STG be drinking aside from Goldschlager? That's right, JK. Cheers, guys. Get some gold flake in my drink tonight. I'm gonna have some gold. Jacksonville. Isn't that Mississippi, Jacksonville? Hey, you might be near around where Emerald is. I don't know if I should say where he is, but he's in those parts. Hey, what's going on, Joe? Good to see you. Good to see you. Swallow that gold. I just might. I don't see any gold flakes, but there's probably some gold particles in here that you can't really see. So cheers, everybody. Mm. Yeah, JK, I haven't drank it either. I bought it a few weeks ago, and I haven't drank it since college. So yeah, it's been a while. It hasn't been 30 years, but it's been closer to 20. Yeah. He's up there in the Panhandle for sure. So how's everyone doing tonight? What's everyone up to? I'm just chilling tonight. As you guys can see here, got my 50 pesos. Ooh, look at that sexy coin. Ooh, that is sexy. Beautiful coin. I love this coin. I've been wanting this coin for at least 2 or 3 years now. I finally got one after trading in 222 ounces of silver. Got some extra cash as well with that. Fat gold. Yeah. This is a fat, a little thick. Can't really see it through the capsule, but it is a little chunky monkey here. So it is a beautiful little gordita, as they call the silver version of the Libertad, the gordita, because it's a little chunky. Huddle House, Target. Hey, what's going on, Renee? Good to see you. Good to see you. Time for another cocktail. 1.2 ounces. Yup, that is correct. That is correct. Just a monster of a gold coin. I love it though. It is awesome. Mm. So yeah, I'm actually switching jobs. I don't know exactly when. I'm going through a really grueling background check right now. So I'm probably going to be at my current job for another week or two, and I'm really glad to leave. I mostly do consulting in the financial service sector. I work for financial institutions. In case you guys don't know, I basically do I do investigative work, so keeps me on my feet. Yeah, oro baby, oro. No plata, only oro. Plata pura. Here, puro. Beautiful, man. Oh my god. I know it's the restrike, but it's just a beautiful coin. I'll get a non-restrike eventually. The guy I wanted to get the 1943 from, unfortunately he sold out of them. Otherwise I would have gotten it from him. But yeah, it's just a beautiful coin. Oh my god. I can't stop looking at this, man. CIA with Dub C. Dub C. Dub C, man. Oh my god, that guy's a character. Let me tell you about that guy. I was in his live stream last night. He's a funny guy. Uh yeah. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to my new position. I'm just waiting to hear back. They keep asking me the stupidest shit for the background check. I've been It's been like a couple weeks already, and I have like two different people, two different entities doing a background check on me. It's very extensive, so I don't know why, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's hey Peter J. Good day, mate. Peter J from down under, mate. No Bundy tonight, mate. No Bundy. I'm drinking. I'm drinking my Goldschlager tonight. Yeah, I was gonna. I was. You have a Cinco, Dos y Medio, and Dos Pesos, all from 1918. Wow, wow. That is awesome, JK. I could only imagine the type of Mexican gold you have, guys. This guy JK Pioneer, he gave me a Dos Pesos, a 1920 Dos Pesos, guys. That's how generous JK is. He's an amazing person in this community, guys. JK. A lot of people in here are. Peter, Transient, everyone in here, guys, is amazing. Has been amazing. Had a few cocktails, mate. No, this is my first one. I didn't. This is my. I'm not gonna. We'll see. We'll see. I got no work tomorrow. Hey, what's going on, OC? Good to see you. OC is the man. You know, OC. I don't think OC likes to brag too much, but he just picked up a ton of Krugerrands a couple weeks back, and that is just awesome. He's gonna leave it to his kids. I think he mentioned his daughters. He's gonna leave them, make it nice and simple, because Krugerrands are the OG gold bullion coin. They usually don't have much, if any, premium over spot. So I think it's a really good choice of gold coin if you want to leave it to your kids, or grandkids, or someone you want to pass it on to. I think it's a really good choice of gold coin in that scenario. How's the hunt going for the 1996? JK, what? Oh, Sunshine Mining. Yes, the Sunshine Mining, 1996. Allegedly, J.K. Pioneer has all these Sunshine Mining rounds from 19. I'm guessing 1979. I don't know if you have the. I guess you have the 1979. So the Sunshine Mining rounds from 1979 until 2000 includes the 1983 non-serialized, 1983 serialized, the 2000 Sunshine Mining round, and the 2000 Sunshine Minting round. So I pretty much have all of them except for 94 through 99. And I know Silver Bar Stacker has a 1999. I don't know if he wants to sell it. Both me and Silverstruck both need the 99, and among other, we both basically need the same rounds. So if someone like him can't get it and someone like Silver Bar Stacker can't get it, I mean, it must be extremely rare to get those Sunshine Mining rounds from the 90s. 1979, baby. You got the 1979 JK. That one's also very rare as well. So I've heard. I'm missing the 79 as well. Yeah, let's see. 1% back. How do you say no? That is awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I mean they're basically at bullion exchanges. They sell Krugerrands at spot. So I mean, I hope you paid that or close to it. With that 1% back. Is there a standalone? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, Peter J, but I know there is a 79. How long you in town? I think he's in. He said he was in Florida. He's not in Cali now. So he's in northern Florida right now. Florida Panhandle. Trying Youngling Lager for the first time. Youngling, that's America's oldest brewery, Youngling. I haven't had that since college. It's all right, the beer. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Yeah, Youngling is America's oldest brewery of beer. That's a neat fact. You're just thinking of lyrics from a song. You're in Florida. what what song is that gonna be? Florida related or Cali related? Hmm. Oh man, what's going on? Oh, sobriety and silver. I hope I'm not offending you here right now. This is something I do normally, so um, you have to forgive me. I'm not trying to intentionally offend anybody here, but this is something I do regularly on my channel. Anaheim. That's where A-Mark is in Anaheim, California. Oh man, yeah, Anaheim made a lot of silver out there in the 80s. They probably still do. Pirate's Life from the Vandals. Nice, nice. Mm. So what's everyone buying lately? Is anyone buying lately because of the high prices? Anybody selling? What are people getting these days, if anything? Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, no, I don't normally. I'll drink like, once or twice a month tops. I just drink socially, mostly with my friends. I don't really, unless I'm doing a live stream, sometimes I like to have a little swig of something. So that's good. Libertads. That is awesome. Yeah, I actually did grab a Libertad the other day at my guy in Chinatown from the early 2000s. So I'm gonna be showing that in an upcoming video. So yeah, I'm trying to get all of them, but I've been making very slow progress. I haven't really been getting too many of them, so I probably need about 20 more, more than 20 more. Hey, what's going on, Joey Brown? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, what's going on, Nickel? Good to see you as well. No, Nickel, I'm actually drinking gold tonight. I'm drinking gold. Goldschlager, baby. We got some gold flakes in there, Nickel. You wanna pan for gold tonight? Yeah. So I'm mm, trying to pace myself, but you know how things go. But yeah, I'm drinking some Goldschlager, baby. I swear they used to have a ton more gold flakes in this thing, but they don't really have too much anymore. You picked up 5.28 ounces today for almost $3 under spot. Junk silver at the LCS is 25.83 times face. That is awesome. That is a great deal. Man, I remember maybe it was like a few weeks ago, it was like 26 times face. Now I'm seeing it's at least like 28 to like 33. I'm seeing, some of the older barber stuff is going for like 33 times face now, which is crazy. I've never seen junk silver this high before, but I guess it's a good, if you could get it that cheap, why not? Hey, what's going on, Check? Good to see you. Good to see you. How are things going down there in Texas? If you are in Texas right now, $0 on fireworks. Yeah, so did I because they're kind of illegal here, but people set them off anyways. But yeah, you hear it everywhere here. 300 1 ounce silver buffaloes, $2 back off spot. Wow, that is awesome, OC. That's like beast mode right there. Wow, that is awesome. Mm. Yeah, I've been taking advantage of the relatively high silver price because I don't know. It could go to 50. It could go higher. It's anyone's best guess, guys. I'm not gonna say it's gonna go to 50. I'm not gonna say it's gonna go to 30. I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm just taking advantage of what is currently right now. And right now, I know that I paid $26 an ounce for Britannias a couple years ago, and I sold them for close to $37 an ounce each. So I'm using my money right now and taking advantage of these high silver prices to help me get gold and other vintage silver. That's my strategy right now. So yeah, I've sold over 300 ounces of silver recently. I'm gonna do another video where I sell over another 100 ounces of silver, and I pick up some more gold. So stay tuned for that. Probably gonna have that out in the next day or two. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's possible, Nickel. I'm not saying it's not possible. Anything is possible. It could happen. It really could happen. I'm just sticking to gold for now. I mean, I'm stacking vintage silver. I got an amazingly rare vintage silver bar, a pretty big silver bar, vintage. So I'm gonna be showing that as well in an upcoming video. I can't wait to show you guys. Got an amazing price on that. I got it pretty close to spot as well. So just a plus. So yeah, I sold some silver, picked up some silver, picked up some gold, but we'll see what happens with the price of precious metals. I honestly think they're only going to go up in the long term. By the end of the year, maybe we'll see $40 an ounce silver at least. So it's not unlikely. It's not, with the way silver has been trending lately, anything is possible. It could go down, could go back down to about 30. Who knows? Nobody really knows. So yeah, I've been picking up some gold, as you saw in my last video. I got a few of these proof half sovereigns really nice condition. I didn't know they were going to be proof. They said BU or proof. And I actually wanted to get about 10 of these, but they only had 3 in stock. And surprisingly, they gave me 1982, 83, and 87. The 82 and the 83, I actually just picked up the full sovereign coin for that a couple months ago, so it's kind of ironic I got those in the half sovereign proof. Uh, so yeah, just checking the chat right now. Thinking about picking up some gold, but my savings is already diminished. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, after what happened the past year or so with gold, I think, like I said, I think anything is possible with prices, and I do think in the long term, gold is only going to go up. So that's why I'm trying to buy as much gold as I can now before it shoots up anymore. Like I've been guys from the get go. My channel. Of course I stack silver, platinum, palladium, add a little copper here and there, but my main focus, I want it to be gold, and it's been gold for the last 4 years, and I haven't regretted it. I remember $1,800 an ounce gold a few years ago. It really was not that long ago, and I was buying as much as I could, and now I see the price of gold going crazy, and it just makes me want to try that much harder to stack as much gold as possible, because I know in the future it's only going to be even higher. So it's just motivating me more to want to stack it more as the price increases more. And it's not FOMO, guys. Well, it kind of maybe is a little FOMO. Yeah, man, those half sovereigns, oh my god, they're beautiful. 0.1177 troy ounces of gold, and they are approximately 91.7% gold, 19 millimeters in diameter. Just a beautiful coin. I really like them, and actually did sell a few of them the other day. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Actually did sell some sovereigns the other day, but the coin that I traded it in for, I think, was well worth it. So you guys will be the judge of that. Gold Krugerrands next week for sale, $20 back of spot. Wow. Hey, what's going on, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas? Good to see you guys. OC, man, oh my God. I went to Boeing Exchanges a couple days ago, and these 3 gentlemen, relatively elderly gentlemen, come walking in, and they wait for the main guy there, and this one head guy, I think he might have been a lawyer, because I think they were settling an estate. He just opens up his bag, guys, and he just pulls out these tubes of Krugerrands, guys. He had like 5 tubes of gold Krugerrands, and in each tube there were 20 gold Krugerrands. So he had 100 gold Krugerrands, guys. So the guy was talking, he's like, oh, can I get a spot for these? And the guy's like, that's not gonna happen, because I sell these for spot. So he was pretty much he's pretty much going through all of them, and he's calculating how much he could give him. He's like, I could give you, I think he said some crazy, it was like 329,000 something, close to $330,000. And I'm like, you're stacking Krugerrands, that's kind of boring. Why would you want to? It's like, why would you want to stack Krugerrands? It's like the penny of gold coins. It's so common. Why would you want to stack Krugerrands? That's kind of boring. So, nothing. I'm not saying anything against it, OC, for what you've done, for the reason you did it. I can understand. It's very simple to sell it. If you want to pass it on, I can understand for that purpose. But it's like, for me, I want to use it for my eventual retirement, hopefully, and I want something a little more interesting. I want to enjoy my coins while I'm still living, so I want to look at them and I want to have interesting designs, a little bit of history, So that's just me personally. I like Krugerrands. Hey, what's going on, Avocado Stacker, Cygnus? Good to see you. Good to see you. But yeah, that's just my opinion, guys. You don't have to agree with me. I like Krugerrands. I always wanted one as a little kid watching Lethal Weapon. I always wanted to get a Krugerrand, and I was glad I did a trade with GG Saving the Past this last year for the gold Krugerrand. So yeah, it was cool. 60 pesos. 50 pesos. 50 pesos, buddy. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, look at that. That's what I said earlier. I said, isn't that a sexy coin? Look at that coin. Oh my god. That is sexy. And you know what? I don't know, guys. This has like some scratches you guys can see here. I don't know if it's a die clash, or I don't know what that is. If someone did like a gold test on it, maybe back in the day. I don't know. You can't really see it so well unless you hold it at an angle. You can kind of see it. I don't know what that is, but that's not part of the design. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, sexy torta. Yeah, sexy gordita. Yeah, that's what they call the original Libertads gordita, the 82 through 95, because they were little chunky monkeys. Yeah, Centenario. Yeah, hey, what's up, Mo Silver? Good to see you. Good to see you. I am actually. It's funny you should ask. Never drink and buy precious metals, right, Cygnus? You learned your lesson. I am drinking Goldschlager. Check it out. Has little gold flakes in it. I'm drinking gold, guys. Isn't that cool? Goldschlager, baby, imported. Used to be made in Switzerland, but I think it's made in Canada now. So, yeah, thought you might get a good laugh out of that. Mm. Needs more gold in it. It sure does. Hey, what's going on, Stuart? Yeah, yeah, Stuart. They definitely used to put more gold in it. Like they hardly have any gold in it. Look, it's like a few little flakes now. Because the price of gold going crazy, they're not putting as much gold in it anymore. Super bad. Yeah. Yeah, they drank that in super bad. Yeah, I was gonna do a clip showing that. Super bad. And that's around the time I was in college too. I was like, I gotta try this Goldschlager. It seemed like an interesting drink. And that was the last time I had it, was in college. I haven't bought it since college. Yeah. Yeah, oh, it definitely used to have more gold in it, JK. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, so what's everyone been buying lately? Anyone been buying anything interesting or selling anything interesting? I'm just kind of curious because I've been selling. I sold last week. I sold over 300 ounces of silver, guys, because I wanted to take advantage of the high silver prices. So yeah, I've been selling silver and getting gold and fiat. So just been trying to add a little gold to my stack. Ooh, that's sexy. Look at that thing. Love it. I definitely have to get the 1943. That's the lowest mintage year, 1943. So they made these from 1921 until 1947, and then from 49 until 62, they did these 1947 restrikes, and then again from 2000 until 2017. And in 2006, they did a what do you call it? Some type of like, I'm trying to think of the word. I can't. It the word eludes me, but it's basically a matte finish to the coin. What's going on, Davi B? Good to see you. That's 1 1/4. Yeah, pretty much. It's a little over 1.2 troy ounces, pretty much. Yeah, it's a big gold coin. Really nice. Been wanting this. I'm kind of ticked off. When this was $2,500, I should have bought it, but I kind of hesitated to do it. But at least I got it, so I'm happy. Sold a raw 1900 $5 gold Liberty head for 850. That's not bad, OC. You know, I had one on here for sale like 2 years ago. You're from Australia as well. We got a Aussie in here too. I don't know if he's still here, Peter J. What part of Australia are you from? Yeah, I had a $5 Liberty in BU condition. I thought it might have been a 58, and I was offering it for $500 for sale, and nobody wanted it. Okay, I got that thing graded. It came back an MS62, and now something like that's probably worth about $900. North of Perth. That is awesome. This guy right here, he has a channel. He's from Australia. He's from Perth, Akadaka Stacker. So if you got a chance, check him out. He's he's located in Perth. There's Peter J. There's a fellow Aussie there. Mm, that's cool. I love the Perth mint stuff. Cool, cool. Are slab pieces worth it? It really depends on what coin it is, in my opinion, my humble opinion. I think for pre-33 gold, I think it's definitely worth it. A lot of times there's a ton, every single pre-33 gold coin that was ever made, they faked it. Um, so you really have to know what you're doing with pre-33. If you don't have an XRF or a Sigma, it's really, you're taking a chance getting pre-33 gold. Even if you do have a Sigma, the Sigma can be fooled, because I bought a $3 gold piece from a legitimate dealer, and I threw it on the Sigma and it came back, legit, what it's supposed to be. I sent it into PCGS for grading, and it came back counterfeit. And I said, "What the hell's going on here?" It came. It's the right purity of gold. They faked a lot of gold coins in the 1950s. They did a lot of pre-33 gold in the Middle East, and they made it around 91.7% gold, which is what the sovereign was. Meanwhile, the U.S. gold was about 90% gold. So, anyways, everything came back real, and then I was reading online. What they actually do is they actually melt down like pre-33 gold coins, like in really bad condition, and they actually recast rare year pre-33 gold coins. And the level of detail, I mean, if it can fool a seasoned owner of an LCS, then it's tricky. You really are taking a chance, especially with pre-33. I basically have a couple people I buy from who have never sold me any fake, counterfeit pre-33 gold coin, and for that reason I tend to get pre-33 gold coins graded, just mostly just to get it, not even the grade, but to just verify that they are actually not counterfeit, or they're real. So When it comes to pre-33 gold, I would definitely say get them graded, but in my opinion, I don't think you should get more modern coins graded, unless it's something, has, low mintage, perhaps like a Libertad, or maybe a Peace or Morgan dollar, a newer one. So it really depends. Most modern bullion, I'd say no, don't get graded, but more numismatic coins like some Morgans or Peace dollars, pre-33, or some old world coins that are low mintage, rare, have high value. Yes, I'd say definitely get those graded. Yeah, they were counterfeiting. Oh, for sure, for sure. Whoa, what's going on here? Yeah, so that's just my opinion. Love the Liberty coin. Yeah, my favorite pre-33 gold, guys, I guess you can guess from my channel logo, is the $10 Indian. I love that design by Augustus St. Gaudens. So Augustus St. Gaudens was tasked with redesigning U.S. Currency, and unfortunately, he passed away only after redesigning two coins. Obviously, he redesigned the Double Eagle, which is a beautiful classic design. A lot of people consider that the most beautiful design on a U.S. coin. And he redesigned the $10 Indian, which happens to be my favorite design on a U.S. coin. So yeah, so basically, I mean, I just love the $10 Indian. I mean, I was picking up a lot of those last year, and I got a few of them graded. I don't even remember how many I have, but yeah. Do you like 50 peso gold? Yes, I love, I love 50 pesos gold. I love it. This is my first one I picked up recently, and I really love it. This is a coin I've been wanting for a couple years now. I don't know why I didn't buy it. I mean, I had the money for it. I just don't know, guys. I'm kind of weird like that, you know. I just wait till the right time for me to get it. You know, everyone stacks differently, and it's good to save up for a coin that you really want. And I just had the opportunity to sell a ton of silver with these high silver prices. I took advantage of that to make over a $4,000 profit on those silver bars that I sold. And it basically paid for itself. I mean, it's basically like I got this for free. Because if depending on how you look at it, but yeah, I mean, I love the 50 pesos. It's a really beautiful coin. One of my favorites. Definitely has to be in my top three favorite designs on a gold coin for sure. 2008 Buffalo. So the 2008 Buffalo was the only year that they made fractional Buffaloes. Why they did that, I don't know, but I know Transient has a 1/4 ounce fractional Buffalo, an MS70. um, but yeah, that'd be a really cool coin to get. That's an awesome coin to get, the Buffalo. Yup, 1/4 ounce proof. That is awesome. That is awesome, Transient. I had the opportunity to buy one, I think there's a non-proof one for a pretty reasonable price, but I decided to pass on it. But it's definitely something I want to get in the future. Yeah, they definitely should have kept making it. I think if they kept, I think it would have been a huge seller for them, because the Buffalo is probably the most, it's probably the most in demand gold coin domestically. I think internationally, maybe the AGE would be more in demand. I'm not 100% sure. This is just my opinion, but I'm just guessing. It's probably more widely recognized because the Buffalo is somewhat newer, relatively newer. But yeah, I mean, the Buffalo is just an amazing design, really beautiful classic designed by Mr. Wyman from 1913. Really, really a gorgeous, gorgeous coin. We have Aussies and the UK. Who's from the UK? Did I miss somebody? Is Mo Silver from the UK? Who's from the UK? Oh, LJ. Hey, what's going on, LJ? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, here. MNJ. Hey, what's going on, MNJ from the UK? What we got from the UK here, MNJ? Got some got some half sovereigns here. Proof half sovereigns I picked up 2 days ago. I really like the sovereigns. Really a beautiful classic design. Love those sovereigns. Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Appreciate that, MNJ. Yeah, I love the Royal Mint has really stepped up their designs, I think, in the last couple of years, with their bars, their Britannia bars, and their completer for the Queen's Beast. They've really upped their game in the last few years as far as their designs. I think they're really beautiful lately. I actually I actually just sold some Britannias. I'm gonna be talking about that in a future video. I actually had some Britannias I was saving, so no, hope hope you don't mind. But yeah, they're definitely coming out with some interesting stuff lately in the past couple years, and I'm really excited that they're finally gonna go back to a more yellow gold color coin as opposed to a rose gold color. I didn't really like those rose gold sovereigns. I did not care for them. I actually do have one of them, a more newer one with Queen Elizabeth II from like around 2020, but I really did not like them removing the silver and adding copper. I don't know if they did that as a cost savings measure, but I think there's probably been a more of a demand now to go back to more traditional yellow gold color for the sovereigns. You miss your gold Britannia. Yeah, I do have a mini date run starting from 2000 until 2004, I believe, or 2003, of the 1/10 ounce Britannias. So I'm probably gonna have to get the last year or two. I really want to pick that up. And actually, I got one of my LCSs offering me a good deal on them the other day. I probably should have taken advantage of it. He was selling it for about 345. He offered me Maples, Britannias, or Pandas for that price. So might have to might have to pick a couple up pretty soon. I definitely want to keep the 1/10 ounce Britannia collection going for my gold stack. Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you, Transient. Since they added the security features a couple years ago, they redesigned Britannia. They changed the background. I actually like the older background a little better, but the revamped Britannia, I think I like. And I have the what is that Liberty and Britannia coin? I picked one of those up at Spot the end of last year around Thanksgiving. They had it on sale at Spot, and I'm lucky I got it when I did, because that coin's worth a heck of a lot more money now. And at first I saw it online. I'm like, it doesn't look that nice. But when I actually got it and looked at it, I said, wow, this is a beautiful design, you know? And I actually really like it. And I was gonna get like two or three of them, but I only got one of them. And I'm kind of kicking myself now for only getting one. But yeah, it's a really, really beautiful design. I really like it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think that was the consensus among most collectors. They didn't care for the rose gold color too much, and they've had it for quite a while now. I think they switched over at least maybe around 15 years ago. Yeah, so what, let me see what you guys, yeah, the security features. Yeah, they're definitely top notch. Gin, oh, no, no, no. LJ, no, I cannot drink gin. Oof, no. I am drinking Goldschlager. Goldschlager, baby. We got some gold flakes for all of those who are not from the US or do not know about Goldschlager. It is a cinnamon flavored neutral grain spirit that they add gold flakes to. Real gold flakes. They used to add a lot more gold. They hardly add any gold anymore, I guess because of the price of gold. And it used to be made in Switzerland, but now I think it's actually made in Canada. So yeah, it's pretty, it's believe it or not, guys, you're not going to believe this. It's 43.5%, but if you tasted it, you would think it's like 16.5% or less. It's very sweet, guys. Very sweet. Oh. So yeah, I drank this in college a little bit. Not, I just tried it out because of that movie that what was it, Stewart or no, Avocado mentioned, and yeah, I haven't drank it pretty much since then. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's really good. It's called Goldschlager. Goldschlager. If you're in the US or Canada, it shouldn't be hard to get. Maybe they still have it in Switzerland as well, but outside of those countries, I don't know if they drink it so much. I know Peter J was telling me they have something similar in Australia called Goldwasser. So it's probably a similar drink. They probably have different versions of it all over the world, I would think. So yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, it definitely is dangerous. I mean, I typically don't really care for very sweet drinks. So that's kind of why I'm sipping it, not just because of the high alcohol content, but yeah, it can be dangerous. My friend told me stories about him giving it to some ladies, and we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good. It has a nice little cinnamon taste to it. It's a little bit kind of like Fireball, not really. It has a much mellower taste to it. It's not like a burning cinnamon. It's more like a very subtle cinnamon flavor to it, but it's really good. Hey, what's going on, Vegas? Good to see you. Good to see you. I love I love Las Vegas. I really wish I could go. I haven't been there in about 3 years, and I really want to go back there soon. I hope I could go soon. Oh yeah, oh yeah. They oh yeah, JK. My friend was telling me some stories about it back then. I won't uh I won't get into that because it's not appropriate for this channel. Yeah. I, yeah, Vegas, man. Oh man. I can't imagine what the weather is like in Vegas right now. Must be hot as hell down there. Oh my god. I went one time, I think in early June, and yeah, it was already around 90 degrees. So I can't imagine what it's like in Vegas in July and August. Oof, I would not want to be there during that time. Hey, what's going on, Canadian Silver Seeker? Good to see you. Good to see you. Now that's a place I'd probably want to be in the summertime. Check it out. Check it out. Those of you who are interested in learning about Canadian coins, Canadian silver coins, you guys can check out Canadian Silver Seeker. And he does an amazing job. He has an amazing collection of Canadian silver coins. I've been a little bit behind on your channel. I apologize. Hoping to have a week or two free before I transition to a new job. So looking forward to that, and I'll have a little downtime, and I'm going to try to catch up on some people's channels. I also want to send out mail calls. I haven't sent out a mail call in a really long time, and I used to do ton of them. So I really want to send out some mail to some people in this community who I've joined in the past year or so. So I apologize for that. I really have gotten bad with that lately. Just been a very hectic year for me in general, but things are really starting to pick up for me right now. So yeah, I'm really happy. I got a new job, got my 50 gold pesos. Things are going good for me right now, so I'm really happy. 211 silver dollars. Wow, that is awesome. 211 silver dollars, guys. Different ones from Canada. That is awesome. And I really like learning about different coins from all over the world, especially if they're silver or gold. It's really, really interesting. And the Royal Canadian Mint, guys, I think the Royal Canadian Mint and the Perth Mint, I think they're both, second to none. There's other that definitely also, the Royal Mint is definitely stepping it up lately too. The U.S. Mint, guys, is just ugh. I I don't want to disparage my own country's mint, but they seriously need to step up their game because they're about 20 or 30 years behind everyone else. That's all I could say. Yeah, thank you so much, Cygnus. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I do mostly consulting work for financial institutions. I do a lot of investigations, and I look for financial crime, basically. So I've seen a lot of interesting things at different banks, and yeah, this new position should be interesting. I think it's pretty much the same type of work I'm doing. I'm going to be in a management position, so I've done it before, and yeah, it should be interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Hey, what's going on, Pimp J? Good to see you. Insight on future of precious metals. I'm not Nostradamus, so I don't know where the prices are going to go, except I can tell you one thing, that over the past 100 years, they've only gone up. So if I had to make a prediction, I'd say the price of precious metals are going to go up in the long term. That is the only thing I am probably 99.9% sure of. I don't like to give predictions. I'm not one of these pumpers saying silver is going to go to $1,000 an ounce by the end of the year. Who the hell knows how much it's going to go to? Nobody knows. It could go up, it could go down. Unless you're Nostradamus, unless you could see the future. Nobody knows where the price of precious metals is going to go. I don't like to make any predictions because I think, is it possible it's going to go to $40 an ounce or $50 an ounce? It's possible. Anything is possible, but I don't like to give predictions, where it's gonna go. That I don't I tend not to do that. Yeah, no problem. Buy, sell, trade, always. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I sold 300 ounces of silver, and people are always talking about gold to silver ratios. I don't, guys, I don't give a shit about that. That doesn't come into my calculus of when I decide to sell. Look, I made over $4,000 selling silver. Okay, actually, with what I just sold, I made closer to a $5,000 profit. Okay, so I don't care what the gold to silver ratio is. That's just complete, in my opinion, BS. It doesn't mean anything to me, because if I buy something at $26 an ounce and I'm selling it at $37 an ounce, I'm making money. That's what I'm looking at. How much money, how much profit, what percentage profit I can make. So it basically, it paid for this and then some. So I don't care about the gold to silver ratio. If I'm buying silver low and I'm selling it high, that's all that affects my calculus. I'm selling to make money. I'm not waiting for something that might never happen to to happen. It's just foolish people who are waiting for the gold to silver ratio to go down even more. That to me, it doesn't make any sense. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. um, but if the price is going up for silver, you pay something that's lower, you sell it for higher, you're making money. Why not buy gold with it? Who cares what the ratio is? If you're making money, and it could help pay for your gold, you're winning either way. What's going on, Taylor? B Taylor, good to see you, brother. I saw you buying some silver last night from Mr. SBS. Excuse me. What are other physical items you suggest on investing in? Okay, this is not an investment, okay? Precious metals is not an investment. I repeat, precious metals is not an investment. This is real money. This is real money, people. This is used to keep up with inflation, because the price of the dollar, the price of this $100 in today's money is not the same as $100 in 1996, okay? This was $100 in 1996. This is not the same. The same $100 is not equal to $100 in 96 as it is today, okay, guys? This is real money. This is what people used as currency up until 1933 for gold, and 1970 for silver in the US. So this is what I use to keep up with inflation. This is not an investment, okay? Let me just make that 100% clear. It is not an investment, precious metals. It's just used to keep up with inflation, okay? Because your dollar is not going to keep up with inflation. $100, $800 in 1928 might have bought you an automobile, a really nice automobile. $800 today is not going to even buy you a used car from the early 90s. Unless it's like a really shitty one. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you gotta look at what's going on in the world, guys. We went we went from using this as money, right? And then now this is starting to die out, okay? We've used this as money for the past couple hundred years, and now this is starting to die out. Now we're going digital. Now we're going into crypto, which is absolutely just ones and zeros, okay? Your transactions are recorded on a ledger, on a virtual ledger, Okay, it's just ones and zeros in computer language. Okay, that's all it is. It's nothing. It's not physical. It's not tangible. It's not backed by anything. Okay, yeah, whatever you want to say, it's backed by the U.S. government now. They have a crypto reserve or whatever. But in reality, there's no guarantee. Okay, you see what this says here? This says Federal Reserve Note. So this is guaranteed by the Federal Reserve. Every time you deposit money in your bank account in the United States, if it's a U.S. bank, your money is guaranteed up to $250,000 by the Federal Reserve. If there's ever any financial collapse of any financial institution, you will be compensated. Okay, they will pay you this. If your cryptocurrency happens to go to zero, if your crypto exchange goes out of business, nobody's going to pay you your money back. It is not supported by anything. Okay, guys? This is what the government wants to happen. They do not want to have to pay you your $100 if you lose it. Okay, this is where the money is. This is where our financial system is going right now. Okay, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why it's going digital. Who do you think created cryptocurrency? Okay, Satoshi Nakamoto. Who is that? Think about it. Who would have had the capability to create something so sophisticated? You know, you got to wonder where cryptocurrency actually came from and who invented it really. That's just my opinion. You don't have to take my word for it, but there's a reason why there's a big push now towards a cashless society, a more digital society. Okay, the government can easily track you. They say, oh, you can't track blockchain. That's complete BS. Okay, I studied blockchain technology. I took a course at MIT. I know how blockchain technology works. I've been to multiple seminars on blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, and it's complete BS. Cryptocurrency is not anonymous. Okay, there was Silk Road back in like 2015 when the FBI took them down. They knew how to find them. They knew how to track them. Okay, there's a way of tracking Bitcoin transactions because they're all recorded on a digital ledger, and you could basically know who made you could basically figure out who made that initial transaction. There's a way of doing it. So anyways, we're not going to get into that, but there's a reason why I think the government is now starting to more openly accept cryptocurrency and more digital credit card transactions, debit card, crypto. It's all trackable, guys. It's much easier to track. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy nut, okay? Don't get me wrong, but I think there's bigger things coming into play here regarding crypto, and for that reason, I just avoid it. I avoid it I just avoid it like the plague. Anyways, so things to invest in. Um, hmm. I don't know. I would have to say right now, I think the real estate market is, in my opinion, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not take what I say as financial advice. This is just my opinion. I'm putting that disclaimer out there. I think the real estate market long term is actually a really good investment because it has performed quite well. I do think that there is going to be some type of, I guess, I don't want to say crash in real estate, but I think the price of real estate is going to go down. You could already see here, I'm in New York City, prices are starting to come down. You could see in Florida as well. They have a lot of weather problems down there, and they pay extremely high insurance. You had the hurricane last year, and it caused a lot of damage, and it's just raising property insurance rates are going up. And a ton of people moved to Florida during the pandemic, so prices of real estate market were going up dramatically. Now you all of a sudden you have a slowdown. You have people not wanting to buy as much in Florida anymore because of weather issues and high insurance. So the real estate market is getting a little bit suppressed in Florida right now, among other places in the country. So I think long term though, if you do hold real estate long term, I think it's a great investment, honestly. But there are a few things that you can, I think are good to invest in personally. Um, I I used to I used to invest a lot in watches, and I did okay. I still have a ton of watches I'm trying to get rid of. I wouldn't recommend investing in luxury watches because it's a dying market. You don't really see too many young people wearing watches. You see occasionally, you see some here, but probably anyone 25 and under, unless it's an Apple Watch, they will not wear a regular watch like this if they could afford, even if they could afford it. They won't buy something like this anymore. Everyone just looks at their phone pretty much for the time. So this is not. I don't. I think long term, this is not going to be a good investment, and that's kind of why I'm liquidating my watches right now, and I have been for the past few years. But yeah, real estate, I is probably, I think it's one of the most more stable long term, especially if you rent out property. I think there's always going to be a need for housing, so I definitely can see that as a good long term investment. I personally don't invest in the stock market, but I highly recommend doing that. Um, there's tons of companies. There's tons of things you can invest in. You can invest in AI companies. Those are probably going to be good. Defense companies. I know Transient just bought some defense stock. He was talking about that a couple of weeks ago. And there's other more stable stocks, you can invest. Usually, if they've been around for a while, they pay higher dividends. I would, recommend. Obviously, diversification is good, to get rid of systematic and unsystematic risk. So diversification it definitely helps to get rid of risk. So I'd say invest in a ton of different companies, and my advice is do research before you invest in the company. Don't just invest in an AI company because it sounds good. Everyone's buying it. Don't do that. Do your homework, do your due diligence, see what type of products they're coming out with, look at their financials. If you don't really understand finance, get someone who does, ask their opinion, ask them to help you if they're really good at it, if investing. And that's just my opinion. If you want to make some investments, I'd say in the stock market, and in real estate. I think those are probably two of the best long-term investments you can make. And my grandfather's silver pocket watch from when he retired from the Union Pacific Railroad. That's really cool, JK. I actually have a ton of pocket watches. I think I've only showed like one of them on my channel. But yeah, I used to love collecting pocket watches as well. Um, Around the year 2000, the market was like very, very hot for pocket watches, and then when eBay started becoming more popular, pocket watches, among other collectibles, I think really took a hit in price. They basically became worth about one fourth of what they were worth a few years prior. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I love mechanical things. I studied engineering, so that kind of what fascinated me a little bit about pocket watches. I collected watches, pocket watches, and now I'm trying to liquidate them all. So, if anyone's interested in a beautiful antique American pocket watch, please reach out to me. I have tons of them, all budgets, from $50 to $1,050. I could sell you one. But yeah, I love the history a lot also behind some of these things like pocket watches and coins. You know, definitely that's what attracts me to collecting and buying these things. Yeah, that is really cool. You know, I had they gave my grandfather a pocket watch. He was a mail carrier, I think, for like 35 years, and when he retired, they gave him one. And you know, it wasn't something that this was like in the 70s or 80s. You know, it wasn't like um, pocket watches were really in use that much back then. But my mom gave it to my sister, and she sold it. Really ticks me off. You know, I've been looking for that damn pocket watch because it has his initials in it. So really ticks me off. Anyways, hold on to that, man, because that you're very fortunate to have that. Honestly, I wish I had my grandfather's pocket watch. Yeah, I used to love pocket watches, but you know what, guys? I wish I had bought gold or silver even instead of pocket watches. Would have had a lot more gold today and if I had bought gold back then instead of watches, because a lot of my watches I bought, they mostly stood the same in price, and because the dollar has gone down, has devalued because of inflation, they're actually worth less than what I paid. So, yeah, not a good investment. I wouldn't say to invest in watches. There are a few brands that do maintain their value. There's Rolex, there's Patek Philippe. Um, there is a couple others. I can't think right now, but Patek and Rolex definitely are two brands that usually maintain their value. They do go down in value, though. They did go down during the pandemic and recently, but the watch market has somewhat stabilized and gone up a little bit. That is really cool, JK. If you want any more, let me know. I have I have I have quite a few of them. I'm not gonna say how many, but I do have quite a few pocket watches. If you're still interested in a nice American railroad grade watch, I do have quite a few of them. Yeah, I don't know, guys. My strategy is to try to just get as much gold as I can. You know, I love vintage silver. It's been hard for me the past couple years. I kind of want to say vintage silver is drying up a little bit. I think a lot more people are starting to collect it now, and a lot fewer people are selling it now. So I think the market, there's been an increase. I think there has been an increase in demand, and supply has been somewhat stagnant. You know, as the price increases, some of it comes out into the market, but I think the price actually has gone down too on vintage. I think the premiums have gone down on them for sure. I've noticed in the past couple years the premiums have started to come down. So actually think it's more affordable now. I think even though the price of silver has gone up in the past year or so, the the price of some of these vintage bars have pretty much stood about the same. They haven't really gone up or down. You know, they've pretty much stood the same, even though the price of silver has gone up. So, in my opinion, it's actually come down in price because of that. You're paying less of a premium because the price has actually increased. So, I think it's a good time to actually invest in vintage silver. You know, that has been my strategy when gold prices are high. I tended to turn to vintage silver, but now you have silver prices being high, and actually some of the premiums on vintage haven't really changed much in the past year or two, even though the price of silver has actually gone up. So I would recommend buying vintage silver if you are getting into silver, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen to silver if silver keeps going up to $50 plus an ounce. People are saying what's happened in the past is that all silver is basically worth the same. There's not going to be any premium on vintage, but that's what happened in 2008 and other times in the past when it's gone up. I don't think back then it was as collectible as it is now. I think who did that video recently? I think it was Silver Oceans. I think he did a really awesome video about vintage silver, and you guys should really check it out. I think his video is spot on in regard. He made one mistake. I don't want to point it out, but 99% of what he said I think is spot on regarding vintage silver. So yeah, I think now is a great opportunity to buy vintage silver. Yeah, absolutely. You could definitely find deals. I know not everyone has local coin shops near them, but if you guys do, if you've never been in a coin shop, look on Google Maps, type in coin shops near me, look to see what's around you. Just go in. Don't be afraid, just go in, see what they got, do a little research on silver. I know a lot of people know about the common vintage companies, Engelhard, Johnson Mathey. you know pick up a 1 ounce bar if you can afford it. Start small, see what you can get, because I think these things are only going to go up in value in the future. Mem coins. Okay, I don't I this is just my opinion, Joseph, but don't put your money in mem coins. Do not put your money in mem coins. That's all I gotta say about that. Let's see. Vintage bars are almost always fun and interesting or historically important. I agree with you, LJ. You look at how silver is manufactured today, and it's a very automated process. It's done mostly by robots or computers, and there's no human touch to it anymore, so to speak. Whereas opposed to something made in the 70s or 80s, excuse me, it was a lot more laborious to produce, a lot more handmade, especially poured silver. It was done by hand, so you're not always going to get a perfect 5 or 10 ounce or 1 ounce bar. And oftentimes, a lot of the refiners actually, they'd stamp it 10 ounces, but it actually would weigh slightly more, so they wouldn't be perceived as trying to cheat the customer. They'd actually give you a little bit more silver. Whereas today, if you get a silver bar that says 10 ounces and it's a little bit more, you might think it's fake. But back in the day, they had the tech. I think Engelhard kind of standardized it with their pressed bars in the mid 80s. I think they started making it more less human and more computer, more robotic. So it has its advantages and disadvantages, but I look at a silver bar and I always wonder the history of it, who poured it, what was the factory like, the conditions they worked in, what type of molds they used, all the different factors that went into making a bar and why they made it, the company that produced it. There's bars like B.R. McKay that have a very sad story. B.R. McKay and Son, I think it's called. And I personally would not want to buy that vintage silver bar because of its history. It has a very, very sad history. I personally do not have that vintage bar in my stack, but I know there's a lot of people that would want it just for that reason. So there's definitely a lot of history to some of these vintage bars. Joseph. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely a good video that Silver Oceans put out about vintage silver. If you guys have some time, definitely feel free to check it out. But yeah, I actually just got a vintage silver bar. It's quite a big bar, and I'm really excited to show you guys. I'm going to be doing a video hopefully in the next week or two on it, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much what I'm stacking lately. Gold, vintage silver. That's pretty much what I like to collect or stack. So what else is going on, guys? What is going on? Anyone picking up anything interesting? Anyone selling anything interesting? It's kind of quiet in here. I actually did get another gold coin. I don't know if I should show you guys, but you might be able to figure it out if I do show you this box. Uh-oh, what is this? What is this? Not gonna show you guys. We're gonna have to wait. Picked up some copper. Gold is little out of my reach. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, B Taylor. Um, gold is very expensive. When I first started stacking gold, gold was I want to say it was around 18 or $1,850 an ounce, and now it's almost double that. So yeah, it's really not something I honestly, if you can't afford it, to invest that much, don't buy it. I'm not, of course, I'm stacked at gold, and I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed to be able to buy gold. I'm very fortunate, and I realized a lot of people aren't as fortunate as me. And I just want to say, stack what you can. If it's silver, if it's you know gold backs, even if it's just silver, you're still ahead of, I'd say 99% of people in the world, because a lot of them don't look at it as something to keep up with inflation for the future. People want to get rich quick. Buying precious metals is a long-term game, I think, and it takes some discipline. I'm a person that easily spends money. I don't like to keep money in the bank. I do have savings, for emergencies. I do have a fairly large amount of savings if I do need it. God forbid if something catastrophic happens, I have that cushion. But as far as my personal checking account, I try to keep it as close to zero as possible because um, my value of my money is only going to decrease over time because of inflation. So, you know, this is why I stack precious metals. This is why I prefer gold or silver, and not everyone can afford it. I realize that, but you gotta try to budget. You gotta try to save as much as you can, and if you can only afford an ounce of silver a month, then just do it. An ounce is 12 ounces over a year. It's 120 ounces over 10 years. You'll have 120 ounces of silver, and maybe use that as a savings, and eventually if you want to exchange all or some of it for gold, you have that ability to do that in the future. If you can't afford gold right now and it's something you want to get in the future, maybe that's a way that you can get it. I just traded 222 ounces of silver that I bought at $16 an ounce. I bought 200 ounces at $16 an ounce, and the price went up to over $38 an ounce. It was a 13-year high. So I took advantage of that, and you can do that too. You could start now. You buy silver now at 37.50 an ounce or something like that. Maybe 10 years from now it's going to be worth 60 or $70, and then maybe at that time, adding an ounce a month, you could trade it in for gold. Who knows what gold's going to be by then? But I'm just saying, it's something. It's a way of getting some gold, adding some gold to your stack if you really do want gold, and you can't necessarily afford to buy, a gold coin or a gold bar at right now. But that's just what I've been doing this past year, because the price of gold has gone up, they say, close to 60% since the beginning of last year. So the last year I tried to get about an ounce a month of gold, and this year, because gold went up so dramatically, it's kind of, and my salary didn't go up. I still make the same thing as I did last year. um, it's been hard for me to get gold, but I've been supplementing other precious metals. I sold some platinum recently. The price of platinum has gone up dramatically in the past couple weeks. So I've been taking advantage of that as well. So you never. That's why I tell people to diversify their precious metals. Get a little bit of everything if you can afford it. Just try your best. Save up for a couple months. I know it's kind of hard. You got expenses. You get temptations. You want to go on a trip, or you want to buy something, splurge a little bit, and I get it. Everyone has a budget. I have a budget too. I can't buy everything I want. I wish I could buy as I wish I could buy an unlimited amount of gold, but I can't. I have a budget, although it seems, much larger than some people's, because I stack a lot of gold. I have a budget too, and I budget accordingly to how much money I get. Like every I look at my monthly expenses. I calculate how much they are, as closely as I can. There's obviously going to be some issues that crop up, unintended, uncalculated expenses that pop up, and that's what I have my savings for. But aside from that, whatever's left over, I invest mostly in precious metals at this point. I don't really do too much other investing. Have real estate. I don't really, haven't really, I'm not in the stock market. I don't do crypto. I don't do watches anymore. Most of what I put my money in right now is in precious metals. So that's just me. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great way of getting, if you want to get gold or platinum. I think silver is really a good way of getting into precious metals. You're ahead of 99% of people in the world. There was a quote on my last video. I'm trying to go to my last video. I pinned it because I thought it was really a great quote that James Reel posted. He said, "Gold is stability, and silver is opportunity." And I couldn't have said it better myself. I really do think silver is opportunity. I think silver has tremendous potential, tremendous upside of going up in the long term, and it's still relatively affordable for most people, I think. You stack, like I said, even if you stack an ounce a month, by the end of the year you have 12 ounces. 12 ounces times 40, 12, 24, 36, 40, 40, 480, almost $500. You could probably get a 1/10 ounce gold coin, trade some of it in by the end of 12 months. So I think it's a great way of eventually making some money long term. It's not a quick game where you're trying to make a buck by flipping precious metals. It's really a long term game for me, especially. I'm using it for my retirement, so I got quite a bit of ways to go, hopefully, before I retire. Um, but yeah, I mean, Everyone stacks for different reasons, you know. If you want to stack gold, figure the amount of gold or silver you can buy if you don't buy an item. Example, lunch costs $15. You could bring your own lunch. Exactly, exactly. And I kind of calculate that too. Like when I'm switching jobs now, right? My new job is actually going to be 100% remote, and there are other opportunities that have presented themselves to me where I'm going to be making, I could make a lot more money, but I take into consideration, okay, how much time am I spending commuting every day? How much money am I spending on lunch, you know? Um, there's just a lot of factors. How much do I have to spend on um, getting my clothes clean, dry clean, just stuff like that that you don't necessarily think about when you look at a job that, it might pay more money, but you're also going to have a lot more expenses. So you gotta really take into account that opportunity cost when you make purchases, like LJ says. I think about my dollars as ounce of gold, silver, copper, whatever makes me think before I buy something. Yeah, I'm the same way, you know. I could be out right now, at the club, easily spending, $500 or more, which I used to do 10 years ago, um, even on a weekday, and all that money I could, I always think, I could be buying a fourth of an ounce of gold. I could be buying a tenth of an ounce. I'm always thinking in those terms also, especially as I get older, and you got to take a little bit less risk as you get older. You got to be a little, just my opinion. I tend to be a little bit less risky, but I've always been a little bit less risky. But yeah, you definitely have to take that into consideration, you know, when you're out buying things sometimes. It's for my retirement, and whatever is left over goes to my nieces and nephews. That's a great strategy, JK. I'm in a very similar boat, very similar mindset when it comes to stacking. I'm definitely gonna leave it to some family members, or hopefully, if I do have kids someday, leave it to them if I do have any left over. But I'm gonna be using it mostly for my retirement. So yeah, been crying every time I go out to get a decent steak. I got a solution to that, Stuart. Don't eat steak. I don't eat steak. No, I'm not trying to dissuade anyone. But yeah, I do buy steaks. I buy food for friends and family, and it's not cheap eating out these days, especially. Oh my God. I got a pizza tonight. It was like $40, and I'm like, during the pandemic, I get a pizza. It's like maybe $25, and now it's like $40. I'm like, what the hell? I'm paying $40 for a pizza and a soda. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on here? Something's not right. So it's inflation. It's inflation, guys. It's gotten really out of hand. Um, I'm not blaming one person or another. It's a lot of factors to consider, um, that are out of, some people's control. Um, but yeah, it's just gotten really bad. I try not to eat out, but lately I've been having a lot of occasions to celebrate, so I've been eating out. What kind of pizza? Well, I don't eat meat. I gave up meat about, I want to say about 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago already. Um, But I'm in New York City, so I love just a regular cheese pie. Got something tonight called a grandma pie, really really delicious. We have something called a Sicilian. It's like a square pie. Um, so the grandma's kind of like a Sicilian. Usually the Sicilian is a thicker crust, and the grandma pie is like a thinner crust. So it's really good. It's kind of like I don't know if you had like a Detroit style pizza. It's kind of like that a little bit. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just normally get a regular cheese pizza. I mean, that's my go-to. I love it. I love it. Love pizza. It's not good for me, but I love pizza. That's what I would get when I was a kid. My mom would take me. She'd go shopping. Usually Friday nights. We go to the pizzeria. Or when I was in like an after school program, like every Friday they'd take us to the pizzeria. We get like a little pie. My friends and I, we'd split a pie. So always always brings back memories when I eat a plain cheese pizza. Yeah, yeah, with some gold flakes, fancy. Yeah, they got these fancy places. They put like gold flakes on it and shit. Like I don't eat that garbage, man. I've been to some places where they put like gold flakes in the dessert and shit, but that's not my that foo foo stuff. That's not for me. I don't I don't do that type of stuff. I don't like that type of dining experience, to be honest. I actually grew up very humble. I grew up somewhat poor, you know. So I've been very blessed with my career. I've been very fortunate in life to be able to afford, so many precious metals, and I try to give back when I can. I always try to give back. Um, but yeah, I'm not. I try to. I try not to change. I try not to let my success change who I am, and how I grew up. My values, or who I am as a person. And I've seen money change people, mostly for the worst. Not all people, but a lot of people. I've seen money change them for the worst. Yeah, yeah. Definitely, Stuart. It's definitely, and I consider this. I got this new job. I definitely consider it a blessing. I'm very fortunate. I'm not gonna be making that much more money, but I'm gonna be in a management position again. Something that I'm looking forward to doing, and it's definitely a perfect fit job for me, for what I want to do with my life and my career. I could be at jobs making a lot more money, but at the same time I'd have a lot more responsibility. I'd have a lot more stress, and I don't want that in my life right now. So yeah, I'm very fortunate that I got pretty much as close to a dream job as I could have asked for with this new position I'm going to be starting. So I definitely consider that a blessing, to have a job that I actually want to work at. Because there's a lot of people out there who have a job who do not like it, uh, including me. The job that I got right now, it's not, for me personally. It's not always about the money. It's about liking what you do for a living, going into work every day, and being happy that you're there and doing what you're doing. And I'm just not happy right now. I haven't been for the past year or so with this position, and due to you know external circumstances outside of my control, um, helping take care of family and friends. I haven't been able to leave this job. I had to quit my full time job to take this job, and it wasn't exactly the job that I had wanted, but I needed to take it to support myself and other people. So, um, Yeah, I consider it a blessing as well if you have a job that you love to do and you love to go to every day. I think that's also a blessing. 20 tons of copper built will be leaving the job soon. At least enjoy your work. Yeah, absolutely. I do enjoy my work, and my supervisor right now is not really that bad. He's actually a really good guy. Um, so that has definitely helped me tremendously. But probably when I started a year and a half ago, I started with, there were 450 people on my project, and my group, I'd say my group consisted, it was about 100, 125 people in my training. I'd say there's probably only about a dozen people left. There's probably only about 10% of the people I started training with. Um, I came in I came in on a third wave, and they're already hiring for the ninth or 10th wave. So that just goes to show you the turnover and how shitty this job I'm on is. So yeah, not fun. Um, I treated myself to a graded Morgan or a graded gold fractional Libertad when I had been saving hard to sell a good paying job or have a great hunting or fishing trip. Yeah, it's awesome. You know, when something good happens in your life, definitely you should definitely reward yourself. I completely agree with that, LJ. And that's kind of why I got pizza. You know, I got pizza. You know, when I found out I got my job, my new job, I got pizza, and definitely reward yourself. It doesn't have to be necessarily PMs, but that's always that doesn't hurt. Oh man, it's like after one here. I'm gonna probably wrap this up in another 10 to 15 minutes or so. But yeah, um, I'm really looking forward to this new position that I'm gonna be starting. Hopefully in the next few weeks or so. I don't know exactly when. They're doing a really extensive background check, so it is taking some time, unfortunately. You've been scoring on Whatnot. Yeah, I have, guys. Whatnot. When I first got Whatnot, oh my God, I was spending so much money on Whatnot. I think back a year ago, there were a lot less people on Whatnot, and you could more easily get deals, but you could still get deals on Whatnot. Um, but yeah, I've been buying a few things, especially from Silver Bar Stacker. That's my boy. I like to support him. He's doing his thing on Whatnot. If you guys don't know Silver Bar Stacker, he's also a YouTuber. He got a channel. You guys can check him out. He is the king of vintage silver. There used to be a guy named Scully. I know a lot of you older, more seasoned members of YouTube will remember Scully, and his vintage silver collection was second to none. And he has passed over the reins to Silver Bar Stacker, and he is now the king, the king of vintage silver, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Um, so yeah, I love, I love vintage. I love picking up vintage. I've been getting some cool pieces from Silver Bar Stacker. I hope to show in videos in the not too distant future. Yeah, Silver Bar Stacker, man. Oh my God. He focuses only on a few major refiners like Engelhard, Johnson Mathey, Swiss of America. Just a few A Mark. But the variety and is unbelievable. The stuff that he gets, like I've never seen stuff anywhere else that some of the stuff that he got is just it's just mind-boggling. And a lot of that stuff is for sale. Like he has his own personal stack that he doesn't really show off too much. Some of the stuff he buys in his videos he keeps for himself, but he must have an amazing collection. I haven't personally seen a lot of his collection. I've seen some stuff, but I can only imagine what type of stuff he has. He hasn't shown a lot of what he has. um, and the stuff that he does show that is for sale is just that it's just mind-boggling, some of the stuff he has. But yeah. Oh man. Yeah, everyone spends a lot, definitely. I agree with you, JK. I think because it's just like right there, it's just like instant gratification, people just like I just went crazy on Whatnot when I first got it, and then I had to delete it because I was spending so much money. I'm like, why the hell did I pay like this much for Morgan Dollar? And I started saying, I'm like, why did I pay this? I got carried away. I'm like, why did I spend like $550 on a 1921 piece dollar, and then it came back whizzed. I'm like, shit, man. Like, what? I always say, do your research, get good pictures of it before you buy it, and I wasn't listening to my own advice. So I got burned on that 1921 piece dollar I bought. It came back whizzed, and I ended up taking a huge loss. I sold it to my LCS. He gave me the best price I could get, and yeah, lesson learned. So, stuff like bullion, that's why I trust SBS, because he's very transparent, and I'm not buying coins. Coins need to be graded. Bullion doesn't need to be graded. So, it's a little safer buying bullion rather than buying coins from Whatnot, because if you buy a coin from Whatnot, you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. You're really not seeing every little nook and cranny when they show it on screen for like 15 seconds. You can't really see every detail on the coin. So that's why I tend not to buy too many numismatic or coins from Whatnot. I tend to buy more bullion from Whatnot. So yeah, that's just me right now. What I buy mostly on Whatnot. Cleaned. Yeah. Yeah, watch new sellers first before buying. Some of the new sellers actually offer great deals. I've gotten some good deals. There's a guy in Canada. I got some Canadian bullion silver bars from recently. Surprisingly, I got them because they're on strike right now. So he had to use UPS, but he's relatively new. I'm gonna give him a shout out. I think he's on YouTube. I think he subscribed to me. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good sellers out there, but there's also some pretty bad ones out there. So you gotta really watch what you're doing. Um, I like to put in bids on Whatnot a lot of times. Before I swipe, because when you swipe sometimes you overbid, and you end up getting something for a lot more than you had originally wanted to pay for it. So a lot of times I just enter the bid, my highest bid, manually. This way I don't go over what I'm willing to spend on something. But that's just me. That's just my strategy on Whatnot. But yeah, it can be addictive. Libertad guy is on Whatnot. Yeah, Libertads. I mean, I do know some sellers who have Libertads, and they're not cheap. I know some of the key years are not cheap. Like 96, 99. The mid 90s are not cheap. Um, some of the lower mintages, they're not cheap. But yeah, people go crazy on Whatnot for Libertads. I'm kind of pissed off because I had a tube of Libertads. I got three of them graded. I forgot what year it was. I think it's 2017. I sent in three, and they all came back MS70. So I was very fortunate. But I sold most of the tube to someone, and unfortunately, someone stole them. So I had to compensate the person. I don't think they stole them. The package, the way it was ripped open, it kind of looked like someone stole them. So I was out some money, and I've been thinking I still have an unopened tube of Libertads. I got a ton of Libertads. That's probably the aside I collect the Chronos series because I used to be into watches. But aside from that, that's pretty much like the only modern silver coin that I really like collecting. I really love the Libertads. I'm trying to get all of them slowly. I probably I probably only have about 15 years of them, so I'm probably missing about 25 years of them. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, keep it unopened. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I had this year. I sold all my tubes of silver coins. I sold my Britannias. I had two tubes. I sold my kangaroos. I sold my ASEs. I think I had two tubes of those. Um, and these were all unopened. When I buy tubes, I never open them. So I still have my 20, I want to say it's 2021 Libertads unopened. I think it's from 2021. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's usually how I keep them, but that's my only tube that I have left. I pretty much sold all my tubes. I had maples I sold as well, tube of maples. Pretty much all the major bullion, all the major countries, coins I had, and I just sold them all. Yeah, keep it unopened. Definitely, definitely. The Libertads. I don't know. People going crazy for those Libertads. I mean, I could understand the appeal because there's relatively low mintage. Even if you have, let's say, 800,000 or a million Libertads produced in a year, the US Mint is popping out 25, 30 million Silver Eagles a year. So it's relatively rare compared to the amount of American Silver Eagles that they're producing every year. And of course, the artwork is very beautiful. Half naked chick. You can't. It's really beautiful. The artwork. So those factors, the low mintage, the artwork. It's definitely a very attractive coin to buy for those reasons. Um, and a coin like that, even though it's modern, certain years, or I was very fortunate. I got three. I really looked it over under a scope, and I'm like 99% sure these are going to grade an MS70, and they did. So, it takes some looking at coins, Libertads, and coins in general to be able to come to that conclusion. I was very fortunate. I was able to get three MS70 coins back from those that I submitted. So yeah, I could definitely see the appeal of getting Libertads graded because they are so collectible. In the last few years, they've really become very collectible. Hey, what's going on, Jerry? Good to see you. You got an 82 Onza. That is awesome, brother. That is the first year Onza. That is awesome. An unopened 98, 40 to 50 grand. Wow. 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 That is crazy. I didn't know they go for that much. Wow. That's crazy. I could only imagine what an unopened 96 would go for. Because I think that's a little more rarer, right? The 96. I could be wrong. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah. I was seeing a few years back. I don't know how much they're going for now, but I was seeing unopened the ones from the 80s, like it has like a silver wrapping. It's like basically in a paper wrapper with like a silver foil on the outside. And I saw stuff from like the 80s, like whatever, 84, 85, 86. I saw some of the common ones, and at the time, they at the time they're going for like 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. I don't know what they're going for now. I haven't been checking the prices of 1980s rolls of Libertads, the gorditas, you know, the one from the 80s. I don't know what they go for a roll now, but just a few years ago they're going for like around a grand. So I'm sure they're going for much more now. 98 was the rarest. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I know 96 was a transition year. I didn't know 98 was the rarest. I wasn't 100% sure. So that makes sense then. Why that it would go for that much. Mm. But yeah, I've been streaming almost 2 hours. I'm gonna call it quits in another probably 5 minutes or so. Make it a little bit over 2 hours. I have a 78 scales and balance Onza. That is cool. That is awesome. I love that. I love that coin. I actually have one here myself. Um, Let me see. Pull it out. If I could pull it out here. I have a 1981. Check it out. Casa de Moneda de Mexico. Beautiful coin. I want the one from was it 1949, the original one. I'd love to get one of those. I really love Mexican silver for some reason, silver and gold. They make some really beautiful coins, I think, as well. I got the Cinco Pesos, 1948. I picked these up from the guy at the flea market maybe about a month ago. So yeah, I think I paid about $40 a piece for these. I mean, that's probably how much they're worth. I don't know. But yeah, 1948, 90% silver. Really nice coins. I really like these. Yeah, I like the balance. They have different sizes of these. They have like I think they have a 12-ounce one. I think they have an even bigger one too. Nice. You got the 49, the 78, 79, and 80. I mean, those are basically all the years that they made them. So, yeah, that's cool that you got all of them, JK. I'm not surprised. JK is holding out on us, guys. I'm sure his stack can top everybody's. He's very humble, JK. Very humble person, and I admire that. I'm looking for had a little paper. It actually had all the mintages. Oh man, I literally just had it yesterday in my hand on my desk. I've been trying to clean up a little bit. I want to show you guys the mintages of the Libertads if I could find it. Oh man, I can't find it. Um, but yeah, they show the balance, the Lenza, and the Gordita, and then the I forgot what the other one is called in Spanish, but the ones from '96 onward. Damn it, I can't find it. Oh well. I'll probably show it in an upcoming video. Bricktown. Yeah, you know what happened with that? You know, I'm kind of mad at Fish. You know, he said that Bricktown died, and Bricktown didn't really die, and I thought he had really passed away. And I was really, I mean, I understand someone wants to, you know, not do YouTube anymore, wants to remain anonymous. I'm cool with that, but I wasn't so cool with Fish saying that he died because I really thought he died. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, Bricktown left a comment on your video or something," and I'm like, "What? I thought he died." You know, I'm like, I seriously, I thought for like a year or something that he died. I'm like, shit, man. So I was kind of I didn't think that was a cool move to say that he died. That was, I don't know. I didn't like that. But yeah, I didn't know Bricktown had a really nice collection like that. I saw some of his videos, but I mean, I never really seen him have like such an extensive collection. Damn it, I'm looking for that paper. Oh, it's pissing me off so much. I wanted to show you guys. It was really cool. Um, someone sent me it in a mail call. They went to a coin show out in California, and it had the mintages of all the Libertads up until 2023 or 2024 even. You had to watch his last video to know. Yeah, I guess I didn't watch it. I mean, there's so many people. I'm subscribed to over 150 people right now, so I can't always. I try to watch people's videos when I can, but it's kind of hard to keep up. New stackers come, older ones leave. I get it, but there's just so much content out there, and I feel bad. I just can't keep up. I tend to binge watch people's videos when I have downtime. I'll literally watch like 10 videos in a row at like 1.5 to 2x speed to be able to do it. I can't do it otherwise. I don't watch it at normal speed, so I have to watch it at a faster speed in order for me to watch all those videos. Damn it. Oh, is this it? I think I got it. Here we go. Here we go. I'm happy. Here we go. Okay. So, Alonza, those are the years and the mintages. And then the Libertads, the 82 to 95 are called Gordita. And these are the mintages of those. And then they have different types for 91. I guess there's two types, type 1, type 2. And then Delgada. These are the modern ones from 96 onward. Yep, you're right. 67,000 only. Wow. That's just crazy. Someone who has a tube of those, that's just insane. How many tubes of 98s 1 ounces you think there are? There's probably not that many left. That's why they probably go for so much money. Yeah, and then it goes all the way to 2024, which is pretty cool. I know 2020 was a low mintage. I know for the gold especially, actually have I have a few of the 2020 1/10 ounce. I think it was only 500 mintage. It's actually really low for the gold in 2020. So I actually do have a few of those. The gold is extremely low in general, in my opinion. But you guys can see here, these are the 1 ounce mintages from the get-go of the Libertad. So yeah, I guess it's been a little bit over 2 hours, guys. I've been streaming. I would love to do this a little bit longer, but it's getting late now. It's almost 2 a.m. by me. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, especially those who have been here since the beginning. I want to thank everyone so much for joining me tonight. I had a lot of fun. I love doing live streams. It always boosts my spirits. I love interacting with the community. This is the best community on YouTube. I really am very fortunate to have met such great people on here in the community. And I just want to thank everyone. Have a good night or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you all so much for joining me. And like I always say, guys, stack that